Lesson 30. Embracing Noble Character. Looking at how your faith is reflected in your words and deeds. Attaining noble character must be one of a Muslim man's priorities, since the Prophet ﷺ summed up his mission by saying, "I was only sent to perfect noble character." Thus, those that believe in the message of the seal of the prophets must fully embrace the noble character which is the essence of this message. When this is attained, amazing transformations take place. We see this transformation in the lives of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. Many of them were in a state of polytheism, disbelief, ignorance, aggressiveness. They were people who were ready to wrongfully kill others. They were then transformed into people of noble character, moral excellence, fine manners, goodness, humility, generosity, mercy, and compassion. Allah refers to this when He says, "Remember Allah's favor upon you, for you were enemies, and He united your hearts, so that by His favor you became brothers." He also states in relation to the prophetic mission, Allah conferred a great favor upon the believers when He sent from amongst them a messenger who was one of them, who recites to them His verses, purifies them, and teaches them the book and the wisdom, while before they had been in manifest error. After them having been in manifest error, He said to them, "You are the best nation brought forth to mankind." The people of this nation brought good to mankind. They guided and taught the various peoples of the earth. They rectified the societies in which they lived, and were a means for people to attain success in this life and the next. They were masters of inner and outer knowledge, people of righteous action who struggled for Allah's sake, in a state of fearful awareness of Him. The fact that you believe in Allah and His Messenger ﷺ dictates that you reflect upon how you have received this immense message from Allah, and how deeply its meanings have entered your heart. You must also look at how your faith is reflected in your words and deeds. You can see that Allah mentions faith along with good works in numerous verses of His book, and He gives glad tidings to those who have faith and do good works. Thus, you need to analyze your character and improve it so that it reflects the degree to which you have received the prophetic message. The distinguishing feature of the believer is noble character. Those who strove to attain the station of perfection in past centuries were known by many as Sufis. One of them said, "Our path is noble character, so whoever surpasses you in noble character has truly surpassed you on the path and surpassed you in rank." Thus, the foundation of their way is nothing more than the noble character with which the Prophet ﷺ was sent. Reflect upon your character in your dealings with others, and strive to obtain praiseworthy traits, and purify yourself of blameworthy traits, which are hated by your Lord and His Prophet ﷺ. Seek the pleasure of Allah through obtaining these praiseworthy traits, for truly a man attains the rank of one who fasts and stands in prayer at night by virtue of his good character. Thus, merely through good character, you can attain the rank of someone who is constantly engaged in worship. The Prophet ﷺ informed us that there is nothing weightier placed on the scales than fine character. Al-Hasan related from Al-Hasan, from Al-Hasan, from Abu al-Hasan, from the grandfather of Al-Hasan, that the finest of things, Ahsan al-Hasan, is fine character, al-Khuluq al-Hasan. Fine character is an adornment that Allah chooses to bestow upon those He wills from among His servants. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Allah never beautifies a person's physical form and beautifies his character and then feeds him to the fire." We should now concern ourselves with attaining noble character and reflect upon the lessons in this book. We hope that Allah will cause these lessons to benefit the reader and the author, Strive to perfect your character as far as you are able, and perfect your dealings with people. Show mercy and compassion to the creation, and Allah will show you mercy and compassion, for the reward corresponds to the action. In an authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ narrates to us the story of a Jewish man who was a wealthy trader. He would say to his debt collector, "Go to the affluent man and allow him time to pay back his debt. Overlook the poor man's debt, so perhaps Allah will in turn overlook our wrongdoings." When the man died, Allah brought him in front of him and asked him, "What did you used to do?" He said, "O Lord, I would send out my debt collectors and say to them, 'Go to the affluent one and allow him time to pay back his debt, and overlook the poor man's debt. Maybe Allah will in turn overlook our wrongdoings.'" Allah said, "It is only fitting that we are more generous than you, and we have pardoned you for your wrongdoings." Thus, the reward for pardoning Allah's slaves was being pardoned by Allah. It has also been narrated that a beggar once approached a Jewish woman. She had been eating, and she was just about to put the last morsel of food into her mouth. However, when she saw the beggar, who was hungry, she gave him that last morsel. Some days later, a wolf came and snatched her baby son. She ran after the wolf screaming, "My son, my son!" All of a sudden, a man appeared, took hold of the wolf, and removed the baby, safe and sound, from its mouth. He then gave the baby back to his mother. He said to her, "I am an angel, sent by Allah from the heavens to save your son and return him to you. Allah says to you, a morsel for a morsel." In other words, you gave a morsel for Allah's sake, so we return to you this morsel, i.e., her baby, in exchange. Thus, the reward corresponds to the action. So strive to attain noble character, and read the books which deal with the prophetic biography and the prophetic attributes as much as possible. Reading these books will strengthen your faith and certitude, and help you to emulate the Messenger ﷺ and follow his teachings. We ask that Allah place the light of these noble qualities in the heart of every reader, and that He enables them to fully attain them, so that they may ascend and attain full illumination through the teachings with which the Chosen One, ﷺ, was sent. O Allah, make this a reality purely through your bounty and generosity, O most generous, O most merciful. O Allah, help us to benefit through that which we have learned, and teach us beneficial knowledge. Show us your enabling grace and your beneficent care. Treat us as you are worthy of treating us, and deflect from us all evil. Bless us with your protection and rectify our affairs, the affairs of this country, and the affairs of all the Muslim lands. Make us people who are rightly guided and guide others. We ask that you are content with us when we die, so that we have the best of endings. Enable us to steadfastly perform the actions which you love and which please you. Show us your grace, O most merciful. Bestow everlasting blessings upon your slave, the Chosen One, Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his family and companions, and upon your prophets and messengers, your angels, and all your pious slaves. Bestow blessings upon us along with them through your mercy, O most merciful. All praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds.